Hey guys, it's Tyler and today we're going to be taking a look at the Undergarden mod. This mod adds in a brand new dimension, 9 awesome new biomes to explore, 2 new bosses, lots of new monsters to fight, and a huge new dungeon that we'll be exploring at the end of the video, so be sure to stick with me until then. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and comment down below if there are any other mods that you'd like to see me review. Now to start off with, to get to the dimension, we'll need to make the catalyst. It's a pretty simple recipe, you just need a diamond in the center, 4 gold ingots in the corners, 4 iron ingots on the side, gives you the key, and you'll also need to make a stone brick portal, just like you would a normal nether portal. Just right click the base, and you're in. Before we get into the review, I just want to show you this awesome area that I found while flying around in creative looking for a spot to set up. It's got all 9 biomes right next to each other. There's 6 right here, as well as the other 3 just back there. So I'll leave the seed as well as the coordinates in the description if you want to check it out for yourself, as this is a great place to set up a brand new base or any fort or things like that. So we'll take a look at the brand new ores, tools and armor that they've added to the game. There's currently 3 sets of armor and a bunch of new tools. So the weakest one is frost steel. You can just find all of these all of these ores just by mining in the dimension, and you smelt them just like you normally would. In a furnace or a blast furnace, there's no special thing needed. Frost steel is just as strong, the armor at least is just as strong as iron, though I probably wouldn't recommend using it. I'll just show you. As each piece that you use slows you down by 5%, and it doesn't really give you any benefits towards that. Though the tools are a bit different. They're all strong as diamond, and each one slows a target for slowest 1 for a couple seconds each. So it's quite cool. I'll test all of these out on some of the monsters that we'll look at a bit later. But yeah, all quite cool. Next is Clogram. It's quite a bit stronger than Frost Steel. It's still a little bit weaker in terms of armor for in terms of armor than Diamond. It's just 1 bar less, but it doesn't slow down you at all, and it actually doesn't slow you down in a skintling glue, which there might still be some over here. No, we'll show it off a bit later, but it slows you down far more than soul sand would. All of the tools are better than diamond though. They mine quicker, they do far more attack damage. You can even get an awesome battle axe, I believe, from the dungeon, though it's quite rare. Or they could add a new crafting recipe, as this mod is still a work in progress. And they're planning actually of adding a second dimension to this. They also added a shield. All of the tools, by the way, are created the exact same way as normal Minecraft, as well as the armor. Though the shield is a bit different. It's a bit inverted. So instead wood would be here. It's iron and then just a wood plank in the center, and you can use the wood from this mod as well. It's got double the durability. Yeah, and it actually looks quite cool. I'll show it off quickly. Got that on. Yeah, it looks quite awesome just using all of the armor as itself. Okay, just one moment. You also get this ore just by you get all of the ores in the in this mod just by mining normally, and all of them are smelted quite the same. You can also make some really cool blocks out of it, and these actually go. This armor here this tool here goes into making some of the best in the game, the Forgotten set, which I'll show off in just a little bit. Next is Urethrium. I'm probably butchering that name. It looks quite a bit cooler, and it's starting to get some really good special abilities. The sword does 1.5 damage to all rot spawn. They're the main enemy of this mod that you'll find everywhere. You can see one right back there. It does 0.5 damage, so you're looking at about 11 damage here for a normal sword hit. And the rot spawn just back there, I don't know if you can see, they also drop these urethric shards, which you can use to create the nuggets, which can be used to create the ingots, though you can also just find them by mining, just as normal. I don't believe there's any specific height that these spawn at, though I'd assume these are quite a bit rarer as they get more powerful. Next up is Reglium. I'm butchering all of these names. Currently there are no weapons or armor with it, though you can use it to trade with the Stoneborn. They're sort of a pigman villager hybrid, though they don't look that way. You can trade with them to get special music discs, as well as items from this mod and blocks as well. I've also added the last piece of armor into this chest. It's the masticated chest plate. It's created using the masticator scales, just in the normal way you would create a chest plate. It's quite good. It's about as good as iron, but the fact that it gives you Thorn 5 just makes any enemy that hits you die super quickly. Yeah, and there's also the slingshot. It's just created using sticks, and the twisty wig is just a stick from some of the trees that you can make in this game. Sticks you can make from trees in this mod. But yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It does about 5 damage. I'll just show you off quickly. And it just fires using these pebbles that you can find on the ground. You just break with your fist. Yeah. You've also got some cool blocks to work with if you're into more building. Next up is the Forgotten set. This is the best in the mod currently, and all of them have like the best abilities here. Like the Forgotten Sword does double damage to everything that's not a boss, and there's currently only 2 bosses right now. So you're looking at 20 damage just a normal hit. Even more for the Forgotten Axe. And all of the axe and shovel and pickaxe work 0.5 quicker, and they're all better than diamond to begin with. Yeah, you can't mine for the Forgotten nuggets or ingots. You have to get them off mobs. There's a mob called the Muncher. He spawns a bit further down in the world, though he has a chance to drop Forgotten nuggets as well as other nuggets here. Though your best chance of getting it is by fighting the mini boss, the Forgotten Guardian, who will drop a couple of these, and you just use them to create a single ingot like you would in a normal game. I'll actually take one of these, because we're about to fight the mobs. So they've added quite a few mobs into the game. Some of them are passive, like these. I'll just bring these over quickly. So here's the Skintling, like we were talking about before. I've actually equipped it. So you no longer get slowed down by it. The goo does disappear after a while, but without wearing them, look how slow you move. You can't even jump. This is great for a mob farm if you want to use it for something like that. And if you kill it, don't have much health, you get Skintling Goo, which can be used to make a block, which decides to slow you down just as much as this. Or you can throw it at a mob or an enemy to slow them down as well. I missed. There we go, and you can see they dropped some of the shards. And now I've attracted all of them. There we go. Next up is the Dweller. He's a pretty cool monster. I'm not sure where they spawn, though I assume anywhere right now. They don't really drop too much, though they do drop Dweller Steak, which can be used to Dweller Meat, which can be used to create Dweller Steak, which is actually a bit better than steak itself. So it's a really good food choice, as well as a bit of leather. Next up is the Wibbling. It's a small little fish. I'll show you where it spawns, and it just drops a single raw fish right now. It just spawns in this biome right down here. They're not very powerful at all, and they don't even attack you. Though one of the later iterations of that mob is quite powerful. Next up is the Glomper. Every time you hit it, it has a chance to create a poison cloud, which poisons you for like 4 seconds each, and it does that as well on death. Oh, I guess it also has a chance on death. Every time I've tested it, it's died, it's produced the poison cloud on death. Next up are the pat. Oh, sorry, I'll just grab some food quickly. Next up are the ritual mobs. So there's the brute. They all have really cool models as well as make really awesome sounds, and they're quite powerful. I'll punch this guy, and you notice he does a heart each hit, and they attack quite quickly as well. I actually put on some better armor. I don't know if I forgot to say, but this armor is just as good as diamond, and it's actually really good for the monsters in this dimension. Next up is the Stoneborn. You can see them, they spawn in these types of biomes over here. They do act like pigmen, so you spawn them, you just right click on it, and you can see that you can... Oh! That's actually how you get the battle axe. I hadn't seen that before. Yeah, you can trade the Reglium to get the music discs as well as some different seeds for the plants of this mod. But yeah, this seems to be the way to get the battle axe if it isn't also in the dungeon. And I'll show you how they act like pigmen, and these guys are actually quite strong. You notice 2.5 hearts wearing armor that's much better than diamond. Alright, it seems it was out of their distance. Next up, we'll take a look at some of the hostile mobs. These are all the rotlings, the rot spawn, which spawn in these biomes as well as a couple other. The rest of the mobs will spawn further down in the earth in some exclusive biomes. As you can see, they also attack any rot spawn in the mod, and they actually win quite often, but that one's quite strong. So we'll start off with the Rotwalker. We saw these a bit earlier. They do a little bit of damage, about a heart or a heart and a half, half a heart. Though they're quite easy to kill once you've got the Forgotten. But without it, I'd definitely recommend using the Erythium. I just need to heal quickly. Next up is the Rot Beast. This is that big guy over there, and he does quite a bit of damage. Oh, jeez. I would definitely recommend bringing a bow against these guys, or even a slingshot, as you can see, they're super powerful. I'd recommend putting protection on everything that you have. Next up is the Rotling. He's a small little guy that spawns there. He will actually, if you're in a mountain or anything, he'll eat the blocks that come to you and attack you through that. I didn't show it, but he also deals about a heart to a heart and a half of damage. You can break through any stone, any grass, anything like that to get to you, and you can see for about 20 blocks. Next are the underground creatures. You got the Muncher. Oh, sorry, this is the guy that follows and eats you through blocks. He drops various different nuggets. He can also drop some of the Forgotten nuggets, as I mentioned before. They're a bit they're not very challenging, but if you get a huge horde of them, which they spawn in, it can be quite deadly. Here's the Glomper, sorry, the Sploogey. They do fire quite a few of the little rock pebbles, which you can get from them, and they also deal quite a bit of damage. Next up is the Nargoyle. He's got a really cool mob animation. He spawns in the same way all of the others do, as well as in groups, and it's a great way to farm up string if you need any of that. Next up, these are kind of the miscellaneous mobs. They're still aggressive to you, like the Rot Dweller. Though I don't believe it works. The sword works the same on this guy as it did the rest. Also the Brute before, I forgot to mention. He doesn't drop anything too useful, just a brute task that can be used for bone meal. So if you need a farm or anything like that, it will be great to use. And here's the Gwib, that's the grown up version that you can also find down in that biome. He does half a heart to a heart and damage, and they're quite quick when you put them in water. So I'd certainly recommend bringing a boat if you're going to traverse that area. Next up are the Forgotten Guardian as well as the Masticator. These guys are really powerful. I recommend bringing some really good gear to fight them. I'll show you how hard he hits. Heart and a half to 3 hearts. And they do have all damage reduction, as well as, like, since they're boss mobs, this Forgotten Sword doesn't work on them as much. Is that it'll kill you very quickly, and this guy spawns in the dungeon that I'll be sure in just a bit. There you go, you get some of the Forgotten Nuggets. Next, I'm likely going to die here, because this guy is super powerful. He doesn't currently spawn anywhere, though I assume they're going to add that very soon. So he attacks quite far, and he does a huge amount of damage, and very quickly, so much so that you can't hit him. There we go. I had to go on creative very quickly. He works the same as the village creatures, and he attacks rock golems as well. I forget the name of the creatures, but the ones that spawn from village raids that break leaf blocks and wood blocks as well. This guy has a huge amount of HP and is very hard to kill even with that, because this sword does 10 damage against non-boss creatures. This guy's barely taking, well, he's taking 6 even with criticals. So it's super hard to kill him. I'll definitely recommend a power 5 bow or something like that. So that's all of the mobs right now. I'll show this off quickly. This is some of the food in the mod. You've got the glomper legs. These are all good as good as steak, and then the cooked wibbling is as good as normal fish. And you have roasted underbeans. You just get these from breaking the grass in the mod, as you can see right here. Oh, I'll put myself back in. Yeah, I have a chance of getting it. It's just as rare as normal seeds. Now you have the blister berries. They actually spawn in here. There's actually multiple forms of berries that spawn in here. You've got the ditch bulbs, which you can use to create torches and use for a campfire. I think they're just over here. The blister berries. You just right click them and you can get, hold on. Yeah, you get 2, there's a chance to get 2 of each, and the rotten ones, I'll just go back where it's safe. Okay, these can be used to create the blister bomb berries, which are like throwable TNT, so it's super cool. And these here, I believe they can actually just be eaten. Yes. Oh, they're actually quite a good food too. I think it does as good. I believe it's just as good as normal bread. I'll show you some of these. You do get 8 when you. Oh, sorry, you get 1 when you do this, though they're very easily farmable. I don't believe they rot either after a certain time period. They just do that. You can see they're just as good as TNT. They're on a bit of a cooldown though. So this is a great way to go mining if you're too lazy like I usually am. Especially in the nether if you want to get netherite or something. There's also different things like gloomgood pie. It's just as good as normal pumpkin pie, and you can just find these all over the place. There might be even some. They spawn in this biome, which is the Forgotten Field, and they can also be used to breed the glomper creatures as well, to show off. And you can make various different stews, which are as good as normal mushroom stew for some of the mushrooms which spawn over there. So I'll just show you off how you can breed some of these. I'll go on to creative quickly. So you just need 2 of them. The food is quite good, and you just right click each of them and it just creates a normal, just a normal one. They are quite annoying though, so I probably wouldn't recommend breeding them. They also have added 2 new potions. Actually forgot to grab these out. Brittleness. It makes you take 3 times the amount of damage, so this is great for combat if you're fighting someone. You can have it in various splash potions, though. Oh, sorry. You just Hold on, sorry. So you create it using the blood mushroom globule, which you can grab from some of these trees, these mushroom trees over there. And you just put it in a normal crafting station, brewing station to create them. You can just extend it like normal potions. And there is the vile resist. Hold on. There's virulent resistance. If you can see all of these like this black liquid coming down there, it'll all poison you for 30 seconds each, and it's poison too, so it'll take you down really low. Though if you just splash this on yourself or drink it, you get 2 minutes of virulent resistance, so it doesn't affect you to poison at all. And I believe it works on normal creatures too. Okay, next up are the Stoneborns. I'll just show you a bit more of the crafting, some of the trading that you can do with them. You do need an open hand. So yeah, you can trade for these music discs, so this time they're asking for it. Yeah, and you can get the battle axe via this, and you can trade diamonds for it as well. Oh, there we go, and you can trade for blister bombs and things like that. Yep. They don't seem to have too many trades right now, though the music is quite cool. I'll just leave that for you to listen to yourself. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, so that's all it. I'll be back in just a moment. We will explore the dungeon. I just need to clear out my inventory. Just one moment. Hey guys, so we're back now. So this is the dungeon that they've added to this one. Oh, this little instantly grew. It's quite rare from what I can see. You can use the /locate command if you're having a bit of trouble. So I'll just give myself a pickaxe. I've just enchanted a bunch of armor. I'll go in normally just to show you how this armor is just as good as diamond. So I'll show you how tough this dungeon really is. And I've got a power 5 bow, as well as some sharpness enchantments and projectile protection armor in case it gets a bit too rough. Oh, I guess it wasn't necessary. Alright, so I'll just show you quickly. This is what it looks like from the outside. It's a bit hard to see, especially if you're up above, because it does have grass on the ceiling, and it can be a bit into the ground. So, traversing down, it is an enormous dungeon. You can see that there's a bunch of monsters that spawn here, and all of this all of this water will poison you. You can see this. Oh. I actually forgot to grab a shield. Oh. Grab that quickly. This is a great way great place to farm up a bunch of shards if you need, because you can get them, and there's also a bunch of hidden chests all around. You can get quite a few of the different shards here for everything and nuggets. There are lots of chests, and quite a few dead ends as well, and it can be quite definitely... Oh wow, look at that. You can get an efficiency 5 pickaxe. Show off quickly, a bunch, even... See, you get ganged up on quite quickly down here. Deal quite a bit of damage. I'm actually going to use this. Now, there are a bunch of hidden chests down here as well. They're a bit hard to find. Areas like this, I have noticed some of them spawn, and there's also cool little jail cells to find as well. They don't currently contain anything, though there's these little dirt piles that are built into the walls that always seem to have a chest inside of them. Let's try to find one quickly. You can also find these guys down here. Ah, here's one. So these little areas in the back here. I might actually be wrong again. Oh, my mistake. This is just another little smog set piece. Though these smog vents can't set you on fire, and you can find them all in the rock dweller areas. Here we are, sorry. The coarse deep soil. So you can actually break these with that, and you can find these, which actually contain much better loot. You get a bunch of food, as well as some neurothix shards. You can also go mining down here if needed, though I do think these are quite rare to find. You can certainly get ganged up on, especially if there's a bunch of these areas that are nearby. Actually might die here. See just how powerful these creatures can be. These monsters, sorry. Actually equip the good armor and set weapons now. Yeah, you can find some really great loot down here, and a bunch of food, and these are just some of the mushrooms you can find in some of the biomes that I'll show off right at the end. Some of them do just end in dead ends, though you can get some pretty good loot, and there's always also a chance for them to spawn down here. There we are. Oh yeah, and I'm breaking 3 shovel. That's a great thing, especially since it's just as good as diamond. Hey guys, I'm back. I actually found one of the Forgotten Gardens. He spawned down here, and he actually seems to be able to break all of these blocks. So I'll try to get him right now. Try not to let him hit me at all. It actually doesn't do too much damage, but he does launch you, especially if he hits you. There we go. I'm probably a bit destroyed now, but this is some of the other set pieces you can find, though there aren't any treasures hidden here, just some lava, but you can get a brewing stand if you're low on those. He spawns in areas such as this, where it's just high enough. It doesn't seem like anything here either. Okay, I'll just show off the biomes really quickly, and that will be it. So, just showing off some of these biomes really quickly. This is the Wigglewood Forest. This over here is the Dense Forest. They do have quite a few different variants of trees in all of these different biomes. My favourite, because it's got the best grass, is the Grongle Grove. It's quite dense, and it's actually quite deadly too, especially if you encounter a bunch of monsters. Also, these vines here, you can just get some food from them if you break it. And the Gloom Gourds also spawn here if you saw that. Okay, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, and we're back. So this is the Mushroom Bog. You can see it's extremely cool, and this is some of the things you use to brew the brittleness potions as well as the virulent potions. Just in here, and all of this water is very toxic. And rot spawn here too, so be careful of that, as they can spawn in huge groups. So they're not spawning right now because I am in spectator. Right next door there is the the Barren Abyss. It's quite empty. Rot spawn also spawn here, as well as some of the munchers, and you can get a bunch of torches if you don't want to go mining for coal down here. And over here is another really nice biome. This is the... Oh, I assume we're underneath another one here, sorry. This over here is the Forgotten Field. Yeah, it generally connects to a bunch of different biomes, though it's quite empty, though some of those normal monsters like the Sploogey do spawn here as well. So that's basically it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back pretty soon with another one. Thank you. Goodbye.